What's in there?
A lot of stuff. What if me, as the FBI director in the Trump administration, during a presidential cycle, went out there and said, hey, Republican National Committee, do you guys have dirt on whoever's running for the Democratic nomination to be president of the United States? If you don't, can you go overseas and pay a foreign national who used to be an MI6 guy, get me some bogus intel? Then I, as the FBI director, will authorize a warrant. I'll leak to the media while I'm doing it, take their articles, put it in that warrant, and then go surveil the opponent so he doesn't get elected. I would be in prison. I'm the guy that is exposing and giving you the accountability from 2017 onwards. But I wasn't the guy in charge of putting people in prison and arresting them for this conduct. And so the other education campaign I have to go on is there's this thing called the statute of limitations. I can't prosecute people for their crimes in the past that the statute of limitations has run. And I'll give you a great example that goes right back to Russiagate. One of the big systems I've created, maybe because of my time in Russiagate, is I'm committed to congressional oversight. I'm committed to giving Congress the documents they need to do their work and give them to the American people. Unredacted, no classification BS. You want it, you get it. Me, as the director of the FBI, the former Russiagate guy, when I first got to the Bureau, found a room that Comey and others hid from the world in the Hoover building, full of documents and computer hard drives that no one had ever seen or heard of. Locked the key and hid access and just said, no one's ever going to find this place. So my guys are going through that right now. People are like, well, okay, go arrest him. And I'm like, okay, well, how about you let me run a methodical investigation while I give over information? One of the things we gave over, I don't know if you remember who Nellie Orr is. It doesn't really matter. Nellie Orr's husband, Bruce Orr, was like the number 4 at the Department of Justice, and he was the one who introduced the world of Christopher Steele, the guy that started Russiagate. Well, the entire time her husband was doing that at DOJ, she, Nellie Orr, was working on an outside contract to dig up dirt on Donald Trump. So she goes to the Hill and testifies as a result of our investigation right under oath. She said, I never worked, and I'm paraphrasing, I never worked with my husband on any of that. I would never do that. Well, what did Grassley put out just yesterday, 2 days ago? The Nellie Orr documentation that the FBI hid to the world that we gave them, where Nellie Orr is caught red-handed providing information to her husband, thumb drives related to Trump-Russia collusion, directly proving that Nellie Orr lied to Congress. Felony, can't prosecute her. Statute of limitations is gone. It's just one example.
What a dirty business.
I'm not allowed to plug my book, so I won't.
I can plug your book. Government Gangsters by Kash Patel. Go buy it. Plugged. You didn't plug it. I did.
The reason I wrote it is, one, I never thought I was going back into government service. And two, part of the job to completing the mission was exposing what people didn't ever think could happen in the United States of America. And it was not just disinformation, misinformation, but your government and leaders in government weaponizing it for political purposes, not just FBI and DOJ, but others than the IC. And what it shows you is the back end of that, too. The rewards. The guys that were in charge of Russiagate at the FBI, Andy McCabe. Andy McCabe agreed to set in motion a plan with the Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein at the time to have him wear a wire into the Oval Office to record President Trump. Those documents we found, we released them. Put that aside. While Andy McCabe was in charge of the Trump-Russiagate collusion investigation, his wife was running for political office in the state of Virginia. Do you know who's funding her campaign for political office to the tune of $600,000? Hillary Clinton world, who happened to be running against Donald Trump. Do you know what Andy McCabe did? He leaked information about the Clinton investigation to the media, unlawfully, as the deputy director of the FBI. Got caught by us, then lied about it to federal authorities. And that's the reason Andy McCabe was dismissed. Do you know what the Biden administration did? They allowed him to retire out of the FBI with full benefits. He got rewarded. Do you know what he does now? He's on CNN. You know who's also on CNN? Peter Strzok, the head of the counterintelligence unit that had that affair with Lisa Page, who basically put out those text messages, who was running that investigation with Andy McCabe and said, Trump people smell in Walmart and we're never going to let him win. I have an insurance policy. That guy's on CNN. So they get rewarded for putting on this disinformation campaign, for this illegal activity, because the media, some portion of the media will never correct the record. Remember, these guys got Pulitzers. New York Times, same thing. These guys got the biggest award in journalism. They were proven wrong, not by me, by the own evidence created by. You know how I caught these guys? Because these guys were so arrogant, they would write everything down. And I found the documents.